Kieran, 16 years since the last time you won. What did that mean in the dressing room afterwards, and what does it mean to this town, do you think?
I think it means a lot to a town. And to the town, it's a special rivalry. When you come down here, you realise it, and sort of it's one of the first things you get told, and you feel it. Even in terms of the geography, it's, you know, Ipswich is Suffolk's team, and Norwich is Norfolk's team, and there's, you know, not too many other teams to get behind. So it's really special in many regards. So yeah, it's really nice to have that record away. I know, as I spoke about, there's lots of different things we could say. We've been in the Premier League last year and we haven't played each other too much in the last few years, but I know it's still something that every Ipswich fan will have hung over their heads, even on the good days of you've still not beaten Norwich. So glad to be able to box that one off, and then we just got to crack on with the future.
Talk through the performance. What was the highlight for you?
Yeah, look, I think we deserved the win. I thought we had a threat all game. Thought we really had a threat with our runners against their back line, and we got in behind them and round the side of them lots and lots of times, and I think we were good value for at least 3 goals, to be honest. Didn't give much away. Other than that, there was bits of it that were a typical derby with, you know, scrappy and challenges and duels and second balls. I really liked our intent to play our football, even in those circumstances. A big part of what got us our success over the last few years was a team we've played without fear. On any occasion, we'll try and go and impose ourselves. We certainly didn't do it as well as we can do today. We didn't execute in terms of finding the spur man on build-up, so we got stuck a few times. We had to deal with a lot of tension in the crowd and around the game in that respect, but the players kept really sort of calm heads in other phases of the game, give nothing away even when we weren't at our fluid best. Stayed really solid, stayed together as a team, knowing that we were carrying a threat all game really, and the goals were really there for us. So yeah, I think things that we could have done better, a couple of fantastic moments and moves, an incredible goal, maybe the best goal in the history of the derby, and mostly probably I feel like a big experience for the group to go through that sort of a big game with as much tension around it as that, to go through that as a group, to come out on the right side of it, I think can be a big moment for us going forward.
I'll talk about the goal in a second, but at 1-1, how was the feeling about whether you could get a second, and was it going to always take something special like what Jamie did to get 2-1?
No, I don't think it was, because we were getting chances. I think shortly before, Hursty's had a 1v1 where he's gone through the goalkeeper. I say even in the moments where the game was scrappy or we weren't executing, it felt like we were always able to get in, and we always had that threat. So yeah, it was a big moment though, I have to say, because when you concede, you know, you score such a big goal to get the first goal in the derby, and then you concede a deflected goal from the edge of the box like that, it was a really sort of big blow. And yeah, in moments, sometimes in big games, it's just nice when players step up and take it for themselves. And, you know, there's not much else you can say of an incredible individual moment from a fantastic talent who's just went and produced something that's grabbed the game by its neck and was really, really decisive on the day. So I think we're all just witnesses and bystanders to that, and it's just something to enjoy. So yeah, wonderful goal.
Did he get plaudits from that, from everybody in the dressing room afterwards?
He did. He came in with his man of the match award and got a little round of applause. So I say it's, you know, football's about lots of collective things, and of course coaches and managers, and we all have our inputs and stuff like that. But it's, you know, we looked back at some of the big moments in the derby this week with a group, and part of the message was, you know, it's a chance to go and grab it and do something special that'll be remembered. And Jayden's gone and done that with an incredible goal that will be played for a long time, certainly around these parts. So really happy for him.
Yourselves, Kieran, they've been so vital to the 2 promotions. I know you've highlighted that, and it's carrying on this season. You've certainly got options at your disposal. I think all 3 of them combined for the goal that killed it off.
Yeah, it's massive. I think we've spoken about it loads, haven't we? I think, as I said, it was in our 2 promotions. It was one of the biggest aspects. I think we were one of the first teams to really utilise it to its fullest since the 5-sub rule. Certainly EFL at that time. We felt the other side of it last year in the Premier League, where we could stay in games for, you know, a long time and compete really well, but strength of other teams' benches were often decisive. And we wanted to get back there this year, and we have, with everybody fit, certainly a really strong squad. But the bigger challenge is the mindset to it, because you could have 5 best players in the world on your bench, and if they're if they're disillusioned, they're not motivated, they're not dialed into the game, they won't come on and give what you want them to give. So all the boys in the group at the moment are, really fighting for the club, fighting for the team, ready to contribute with minutes, and the boys who came off the bench really sort of sprung into the game. Obviously linking up with a goal is great. Delighted with Jack again. I've spoken about him in the last few weeks. I think him and Jaden's competition and support of each other at the moment is exactly where you need to be as a big team. You keep doing the right things and that you keep getting the breaks and things fall to you. So no, there's some good signs there in the group.
Talking of the subs, Marcelino seemed to enjoy himself today.
Yeah, I think he was looking forward to it, and he knew he'd have a part to play. He's a really good player to bring on, because I say if you need the goal, he's got the quality to help you produce it. If you need more possession, he can help you. He can help you do it, and he runs, so he can help you defend as well. So happy for him. I think, a good day for him. I know his motivation to come here was nothing to do with feelings against Norwich, anything like that. They give him his opportunity in England, but he felt it was a step forward in his career to come here, and we were delighted with that and delighted to have him.
Just finally asked you at the press conference who your starter was, and you said you'd tell me if we win. So was it?
And deservedly so. It was Matt Bayard, who's a club physio for 25 years, I think, been through all of them, an Ipswich man, an Ipswich fan, an Ipswich worker, and really proud of him and all the staff today when you get a good day like today. And he spoke terrifically to the group, and I think it was a really, really important part of our preparation.
Yeah, Frank, that was some performance, wasn't it, from his goal? I thought he was fantastic defensively. He was probably as good as anybody on the ball. Terrific all-round performance. Brilliant performance,
I have to say. I thought, as you said, long before the goal, when there was tension in the game on both teams, I thought he looked like the most composed player on the pitch. It was everything we were hoping for, to be honest, because he has got that sort of calm, laid-back demeanour. And in big games, sometimes that can be really useful. And that's what we were hoping going into today. That and the fact that he's a strong boy. He dealt terrifically with Colby Bishop last week, playing against another really strong centre forward this week. And I thought he did his job terrifically. Gave a real composure to the team. Dealt with a threat really, really well. Was calm on the ball, and even better when he steps up and smashes a goal in.
Got 2 weeks now to the next game. What's the plan for the fortnight?
Yeah, it's a short 2 weeks, 12 days. By my counting, with a Sunday and a Friday night, so it's a pretty shorter international break for us. So, I don't know what the numbers are. We got seven or so away. We'll train next week. We'll do something in terms of 11v11 in a match, and then we'll have a full week building up to Middlesbrough.
But you give them a couple of days off to celebrate.
We always have a couple of days. Not to celebrate now. They'll have tomorrow off if you're checking the schedule. So if any of them are seen in a restaurant or anything tonight, that's okay, but they'll be back in training on Tuesday.
Finally ending this talk of 16 years without a win against them.
Yeah, nice to have it boxed off. Look, I'll say, I won't say it now because we've won it. It hasn't weighed on me. I think we've been pretty happy celebrating other successes. I think the big thing is trajectory, and as I said, I think we were middle of League One 4 years ago, and Norwich were in their second of 3 seasons in the Premier League, and the stadium wasn't anywhere near what it was today. The pitch was muddy, the dugouts were a tin shed, the training ground was a long way off where it's going to be, and a lot longer off what it's going to be next year. So I think the biggest thing is the progress that we've made, but I know how it is as a supporter, and until you have that win, you'll always get a but down the pub or in the office or online from your rivals. So nice to take that one off of them.
Jimenez was on the cover of the programme, got his own individual sort of lap of honour at the end, holding up a banner for the Norwich influencers tweet, celebrating the goal in the last derby. Felt like a bit of trolling. What did you make of that?
I don't see it like that. I understand. I think, look, we have somebody on the front of every cover every week. It wasn't my decision to have him on the front cover this week, but it was Jens last week. It was somebody else, so the cover is nothing different. And the fans have took to him because of the player he is and the character he is, not just because he's come from Norwich. Again, I've said it plenty of times, it was of no consequence to us the fact that we were signing him from. We were signing an experienced Championship midfielder with the qualities we needed. Marcelino, not to speak for him, but I know has no ill feeling or no desire to come here to put one over on his former club or anything like that. He felt like it was a good step in his career. He's come from Chile, with the dream of playing in the Premier League. He felt like this was a step that gives him a better chance to do that and a chance to develop as a player. I think you have to respect that sort of level of bravery from the background that he's come from to make that step. So, no, I think he was to see him in the Sheffield United game with the crowd. The crowd have really took to him. He's enjoying his roles. He's delighted to be here. He's got respect for his former club, and we're happy to have him.